Hey everyone, Joe here. In this video, I am continuing to plan for my DIY remote starter. Check out my previous video link in the description below to see how I got my thoughts down on paper with a block diagram. Right now, I want to make sure that the inputs and outputs that should be in my car are actually there, which means I have to bust out my test light and wire piercing tool. So, let's get started. Here I am under the dash of my steering wheel of my 2013 Subaru Outback. Behind here should be most of the wires that I need to find and test. To make this process a little bit easier, I made a table of inputs and outputs, their probable location, the color it should be, and its polarity. For those inputs and outputs that I have to provide, I'm going to have to take some notes on where they can be installed. If you do want a copy of this inputs and outputs table that I made for myself, I'll leave them in the description below. Let's start by taking off this dash. The first thing I want to check out are the wires at the key cylinder right here. Running down into this spot over here. They're currently wrapped up in this outer insulation, and I can't really access them because I have this steering wheel column shroud in the way. So this is going to have to come off as well. Alright, so here's the key cylinder up here. And if you follow the wire down here, this looks like to be the main ignition wires that they actually switch on. So I'm going to have to cut this outer insulation up just so I can see what color wires are there. And just as I thought, with the help of Google of course, there are 6 wires here, and the colors that I thought were going to be here are definitely here. But just to make sure that each function is what I think it is, I'm going to have to ground my test lead to this piece of metal of chassis here and probe each wire for each of their functions. So this white wire here should be constant 12 volts. So I'm going to ground my test light here. Get my wire piercing tool. Screw it on. And let's see. And I do. I have actually a red light on my test light, and that indicates positive 12 volts. Thing is though, I need to make sure that it stays this way throughout every key position. So let's turn to the on position. It does, and when I crank the car, and it's still on, so this is definitely 12 volts. The next wires I want to check out are the ignition wires. This car has 2 of them, and it says here that it should be the blue and the green wires. So I'm going to grab the green wire first, and there should be no voltage on here right now because the car has the key in the off position, and I'm not getting anything. But if I now get my key right here, I turn it on. There it is, ignition. When I crank the car, the ignition should stay on, and after the car is fully cranked and the engine started, it should remain on as well. So let's try that. And this is the ignition wire. I have the wire piercing tool now on the blue wire, which I think is the second ignition. So if I probe it now, I don't see any voltage. That's good. If I turn to the on position, I see voltage. That's good. And while I'm cranking, it shouldn't turn off at all. But in this case, it does. So this tells me this is not an ignition wire. This is actually an accessory wire. So I'm going to fix my table right now. Since that last one winding up being accessory, let's test out the accessory what I think it should be. That's this yellow wire here. So let's probe that. Tie it in. And nothing on the off position, that's good. Let's put it on the on position here. That's good. And it vanishes when it was cranking. So this is a second accessory wire. The last 2 wires are the starter wires. White, black, and white, green. I have the white, black over here. Let's try that one out. And this one should only show voltage when the car is cranking. So nothing in the off position. Nothing in the on position. And that's definitely a starter wire. Last one is the white-green. Let's make sure this is definitely a starter wire. Alright, nothing here. On position. Nothing here yet. And let's see what happens when it cranks. Perfect. While we're in this area, if you notice around the key cylinder, there's this plastic shroud. And this plastic shroud is the anti-theft RFID system in this car. So now that I see it here, here's the wire coming out for it, I definitely verified that it has one. I'll show how to bypass this in a later video. But for now, let's just note that this car has it. The next wire I want to show you is the parking light wire. And if you look by the parking light switch over here, there's a plug. And within this plug is the parking light signal. And according to my sheet, it says it should be a black and white wire. And I found it right here. And the signal should be negative when I turn this on. So to make this work, I attach the other end of my test light to the battery positive post underneath my engine hood. So let's just make sure this wire functions like we think it does. If you notice, the wire piercing tool turned green, and this is because it's for a smaller gauge wire. So if we probe it now, shouldn't be getting anything, but if we turn the light on, we can see that it turns green, which means that this is definitely a negative signal, and when I turn it off, it works as well. So this is definitely the parking light wire. The next wire I want to find is the neutral safety switch wire. I could go to the gear shifter or to the engine compartment, depending on where the neutral safety switch is, but I do know that it's always tied into the starter control relay, or usually tied into the starter control relay. So this is it under my car, underneath the dash by the fuse box. If I pull this out, and I look at one of the relay coil connections here, if you notice, I have a green light. That's because my car right now has the emergency brake on and is in the neutral position. If I turn the gear shifter to, let's say, the reverse position, it goes off. If I try to put in the drive position, it also goes off. And putting it into park, I'm going to have to push the brake pedal, put it into park, and test for it. And it looks like this wire here tells me if it's either going to be in the park or neutral position, which tells me that this is definitely the signal for the neutral safety switch. We have two wires left, and that's the brake signal, which I'm going to find at the brake switch, and the lock signal, which should be at the body control module underneath the dash as well. So I have this panel here still. I'm just going to take these connections off just so I can get better access to that bottom. So here's the body control module and the harnesses and plugs attached to it, but I've been poking around at these wires for a while and I can't seem to find the lock signal, so I'm going to have to change my plan. So I thought about it some more and I figured that I can utilize this hazard light relay. So if you notice, when I hit the lock button, it clicks 3 times pretty fast. When I hit the unlock button, it clicks at a different pattern, and when I actually hit the hazard light button, you can hear it clicking at a different pattern. So I'm thinking that if I can capture how fast this relay turns on when I hit the lock button, that this could be my unique signal to turn the car on. So I'm going to figure out which wire is being pulsed on the relay's coil. After poking around a bit, and I actually poked right behind the relay where this wire harness is, so I don't even need to use a wire piercing tool, I found out 2 wires that I could use. So if I turn my hazard light on, I have my test light right now connected to the positive terminal of the battery, and I'm probing this pin right here. I do get the light to turn on and off to the pulse of the relay. And same with this pin over here. And here I am again, but with my test light clamped to the chassis, and I probe those same wires, I get the opposite voltage, or rather the power voltage signal, instead of the ground signal on those same wires. Not too sure how I'm going to approach this, but these are the only 2 signals that flash to the same rhythm as the relay, so I'm going to have to use these. Finally, we have the brake light wire. So if I follow that brake pedal all the way up, I'll find the brake light harness, which is that plug right there. Now it's a little hard to see, but right now I have my wire piercing tool testing or probing the brown and white wire on that harness. If I take my test light, which has the one end clamped here, the chassis ground, and I probe here, I'm going to hit my brake pedal now. And that confirms that that's the brake light wire. Now that about does it for all the wires that I need. I just gotta figure out locations for the service switch, the hood pin switch, and the remote start. And right here is a brake pedal, and I'm looking underneath the dash and there's tons of space here. So I know that my remote start box that I'm gonna house all the electronics in can be pretty big because I have a lot of room here, so I'm pretty happy about that. As for the service switch, I don't really know where I want to put that yet, but I know I have a lot of options. I could hide it behind that panel over there. I had a little door here where I can see the fuses, and maybe I could hide behind there. I could even put it here in the kick panel, or I might even put it in my center console by my shifter. Don't know where yet, but I just want to know that I have a lot of options. So this is pretty good too. Last thing I gotta figure out is where I want to mount the hood pin switch, and it's just a little switch that has a little plunger on top, and it just makes connection and disconnects with the car's ground. So when you close the hood, there's no connection to ground. When you open the hood, there's a connection. You'll see that in a later video exactly how it's constructed. But for now, this piece over here has a pretty solid looking ground, and if I close my hood just a little bit, it makes pretty good contact. So I think I'm gonna put the hood pin switch right here. It's also on the same side of where the remote start's going to be, so I could easily fish a wire through a grommet, meaning through the firewall to the remote start module. And that about does it. Just want to do a quick shout out to one of my recent subscribers, Candy11. Thank you so much, you're awesome. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found this video helpful or interesting in any way, please consider giving the video a like. For updates on this project or other interesting videos, consider subscribing to my channel. And if you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments below.